When it comes to understanding this piece of Scripture, there are a lot of different ways that people understand it. And I'm going to give you one way of understanding it. There was a joke I heard a fellow tell, so I'm going to probably butcher it, but here we go. There was this young cowboy named Duke. And Duke had lived a rough life. He ran with loose women and loose men. He gambled all his money away. He spent a lot of his nights stealing cattle and riding out across the West, and he was tough. Didn't need nobody. And then he heard about the Lord. And he was struck with it. He thought, I can really relate to that. I really appreciate that he died for me. That must have took one tough hombre to die on that cross for me. So he took it up. Not only was he saved, but he was called to preach. Duke preaching? Are you kidding me? So Duke becomes a preacher. He went off to seminary school and he learned about all the different apostles and the disciples and about Thomas Aquinas and all those different fellows that knew all these fancy things to say about Jesus. And then he came home. That, well, if I'm going to do this, I probably ought to start with the fellows I knew. And so he goes walking into the bar. And as he walked into the bar, one of the fellows sitting at the table said, "Duke, I heard you become one of those Jesus people." He says, "Yep." He says, "I hear that this Jesus fellow says if I strike you on the right cheek, you got to turn me the other one." Yep. So the fellow come up and slaps Duke on the right cheek. Yep. The fellow slaps Duke on the left cheek. And Duke just cleaned the floor with him. Punched him right in the face and just mopped up the place with him. The fellow looked up and said, "Duke, I thought you were supposed to take it." He said, "Lord instructed me on that cheek. Didn't give me no instructions on that cheek."